Hi everybody, I'm Anna from thefaithfuldove.com. My YouTube channel is currently down because I asked for a sign yesterday whether I should stick with Facebook or make a YouTube channel as well. Which one would get me to the most targeted subscribers, the people that would participate, that I could help, that they could help. And well, I'm a stubborn person. If I had gotten a positive answer, I still would have kept YouTube open. But the answer that God gave made sure that I got shut down on YouTube because I accidentally posted privately, mind you. It was privately unlisted, and I do that for every video until I'm realizing whether everything I said was appropriate and then turning it public. Well, apparently my essay in college was correct when I said there's never truly any privacy on the internet. Everything can be found, because even though that was private and private status, YouTube's automated system found it, and within 10 minutes my whole YouTube channel was down. So that's fine. I'm taking that as, that's God saying, use Facebook. So, today we're going to talk about questions in love, okay? I want to tell you the most common question that I get is, we were hot. I felt like we were really connected, and then he disappeared, or he blocked me, or she stopped talking to me, or she said she was dating someone else. But they were telling me that, oh, I could be with you forever. There's all this. We were visiting each other. We're really hot and heavy, and then all of a sudden, nothing. I am not going to go into each individual yes or no description in detail, and I'm telling you why. Because humans tend to focus on the details rather than the reality. Reality is, and the other question is, but I thought love is all you need. We felt that love for each other, and then they just bolted. Okay. The truth is, it doesn't matter the reason that they bolted. Okay. With the exception of their deal breakers, right? Even in the Bible, it says about substance abuse and physical abuse. Deal breakers, mental abuse, deal breaker. Leave immediately. And I know how hard that can be because I've been in that situation too, so before you comment, I know where I'm coming from. So, this is reality time. If there's any question whatsoever as to, they left suddenly, I don't get it. Why? I thought we were hot and heavy. I still feel connected to them. Do they still feel connected to me? If you're still connected, but they walked out, or avoided you, or blocked you, no matter the reason, it's time to walk away. Okay? So they could have gotten scared. So they could have met someone else. So they could just realize they weren't. Obviously, the right thing to be would have been to tell you and say, hey, you know what, I thought I was ready for a relationship and I'm not. But people don't do that. The people that we're talking about, the ones we're asking questions about, they don't do that. They run. And we can't change that. So even knowing the reason why doesn't make us feel better. Okay? And the other common question is, can I do anything to get them back? Should I text them? Is there anything I can say? My question to you is, you really want to put yourself out there to someone who didn't give the full effort to you and at least the honesty to tell you? Okay? And maybe they told you they wanted to leave and it was sudden and you don't know why. Why do you still feel connected to them? Let me tell you the connection part of it. Connection part of it is you're one of three. First of all, if they went away, you're not a soulmate connection. All the connections, you'll get connections brought to be with you for life. You'll get connections brought to be with you for a short time. You'll get connections where you're supposed to learn the lesson. You'll get connection where both of you are supposed to learn the lesson. The connection is very strong for a reason. It draws you to that person so that you can work out any patterns that you have. The very first thing I'm going to recommend before I describe these connections is after this video, get out a piece of paper, and you have to be truly honest here. Go through all your relationships, friendships, and everything. What is the common pattern of how you act, how they act, how it began, and how it ended? Okay? And I'm going to share with you. I have a serious boyfriend now. And I love him very much after the hell I went through with the death of my long-term boyfriend last year. I'll tell you more about that if you want to know, if you haven't seen it yet. Tragedy can motivate you. It was a very dark time in my life. I am very happy now. I'm still healing from that ex-relationship, but I met a guy who's really great. I did hold my standards up. And like I say, I have a boyfriend now. But the first thing, subconsciously, when I was looking through my patterns before him, that I realized what was going on is, subconsciously, I'm attracted to that bad boy. And that's a real problem. Okay? Now, if you're a people pleaser, you really have to watch out. If you like to make everybody happy, you have to watch out, because everyone, not just people pleasers, is going to get crap attracted to them. You have to be able to divide and conquer. Boop, no. And we'll talk about that in another video. How to pick, how to vet. As there's one guy, his name is Jonathan Astley. He's a very nice guy, but I don't agree with everything he says, but he comes from a place, he comes from a guy's side, and he comes from a place deep in his heart, and I appreciate that. And I have an open mind, so. My other issue, my other pattern is the fact that I'm an empath, and I can always, I'm like, oh, well, they had such a rough childhood, and they're closed off, and maybe I can hit. That's just not an empath. That's us women in general. And men too. Men have the knight in shining armor thing. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. We all go through the same thing. And universal. It's universal. We all have the same emotional problems and bad emotional habits. So, okay, soulmate connection is usually the connection for life, your lifetime partner. You have your fights, you have your ups and downs, but you don't walk away. You can walk away to cool down. You don't walk away from the relationship. You work it out, okay? That takes real emotional maturity. That's not something that happens a lot today, because people don't want to be in a relationship. They don't want to be in a confrontational thing. I don't like confrontation either, but if you're going to be in a successful relationship, you got growing pains. No matter how similar you are to each other, you're still different. Okay? So, your karmic soulmate, that list I asked you to make, did I ask you? If not, get out the piece of paper. Friendships, relationships, even family. What has been your pattern? What has been their pattern? How did it begin? How did it end? Obviously, you were born. You're going to start seeing patterns there. And go ahead and start working on them before you get thrown one, because you're going to get thrown karmic pattern relationships. And they're going to feel strong. It's going to feel, that connection is amazing. That connection is almost addictive. But those people are there to teach you a lesson, and then they go away. Through breakup, through death, through leaving. My cat's about to climb on my lap, so if starts shaking, this is my needy cat. Hi, needy cat Mittens. And, so, okay, sorry, Mittens, you need to lay down. I love this kitty. He needs me, I need him. The other one is twin flame. Oh, goodness. Lay down. Twin flame. Nobody needs to see your butt. Twin flame relationships are basically like a mirror of yourself. They have basically... Have you ever met a friend or a boyfriend and you think, oh my God, he's OCD just like me. Oh my God, when he gets stressed, he does this just like me, boyfriend, girlfriend, it doesn't matter. Just like they're so similar to you. Usually both of you are supposed to be learning a lesson. But let me tell you something, in all of these relationships, just because you have a soulmate connection with someone, the soul wants that, okay? The human will can still mess it up in all three connections. And you're not to stay around if you're not being treated correctly or you're not getting enough attention. I call your call your heart your life battery. And if you feel drained when you're with someone, then they're not feeling it. They're just taking it. If you ever had that friend, they call you 5 minutes on the phone and you go from being energetic or at least there to like wanting to take a nap. And they didn't do anything wrong. Those are people who are taking from your life battery but not giving it back. All right. So that's why this is reality time. Reality time, all you need to remember about questions is, 1, love is not all you need. You have to work at it. You have to put in the effort. As a matter of fact, before I sign off, I'd like to mention that I just read an article which surprised me. I thought, this is great. Everybody's home. There's going to be a baby boom. There's actually less babies born during the year of COVID. And they're worried about the economy. Why? Not because the baby items bought, because we, having babies, are the adults when we die that help to stimulate the economy. So, think about that. I'm not asking you to run out and have a baby. We're just little kitty too. I'm just saying, it's interesting that during COVID, a lot of couples actually got closer, but the babies were not made. And most people nowadays don't want to do the work of a relationship. And it does take longer. Someone asked me before, how long does it take before you know that you're serious and a person is that one? Can you fall in love immediately? Okay, first of all, I believe you can have, I'm an empath, so I know you can have that connection, that love connection with someone immediately. You have to work at it. You still have to go through the relationship steps. You cannot go all into cloud 9, and because you do have that honeymoon period where everything seems so happy and perfect. And then it depends upon how long you've been dating, and how often you date. Say you date once a week. Say you date once a month. If you date once a month or once every couple of months, this person, you're not going to go through the serious, his butt. You're not going to go through that, what they call the 4-month phase, until later. Okay. Everything's happy, everything's wonderful, because, literally, you don't mean to, and I don't mean to. I try to be a very open book, but you're just so happy, and the endorphins are rising. Woohoo! Serotonin levels are up, and everything's great. And not that they're, even during that 4-month period of time, and that they're not issues, but you just, I don't know, sometimes you just let them go. But you gotta stay in reality, because it'll take you in cloud 9, and then you'll end up married to someone or with someone that later down the road, it's harder to leave because you're like, but I love them. Ooh, you have to make sure your needs are met. You have to make sure and I'm not talking about financially, I have to make sure your life battery is being recharged by the other person. And at this note, I would like to say a public apology because, I told you guys my long-term boyfriend died last year suddenly. And I have met someone new, and he's wonderful and very patient with me, but I have been very cranky the last 3 days. Sorry. Anyway, I also wanted to say that don't put my 4-month rule in there for you because it could be different for you. The average time that you'll start to see the challenges is about 8 months to about 1.5 years. But if you're not dating, say you're dating someone who's been deployed, there's things that can contribute to your feelings of love, like the fact that you had a most wonderful beginning and then suddenly they had to get deployed, and then you have this feeling of something being taken away from you, and that causes a need. You have to step back and look at how you're being treated. That's why a lot of couples do not make it when they get together right before someone is deployed. People need love, people need stimulation, and you have to be the most amazing person emotionally. When I say emotionally mature, I don't mean like you're an adult and you're like mature. I mean it takes a great deal of depth, understanding, wisdom, and maturity to be able to handle. So I don't even know if maturity is the right word, but to be able to handle someone being deployed or gone all the time. Because we all have needs. And there are a lot of women and a lot of men at home. There are a lot of where both soldiers are deployed, and they are amazing. And thank you so much for serving our country. Those people are going out so that you can love the way you want. Live and worship the way you want. Don't think that those soldiers don't know what they're getting themselves into, because they could. And that's, my friends, is another form of love. But I've got to get off of here because I could talk to you forever. If you have any questions, post them in the comment. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Or in this case, join. Thank you. Bye.